Okay, and welcome back. I have sort of forgotten about this bike and I haven't really updated you on what happened, so here goes. When I put it together in a preliminary sense, I took for a test, the chain was too tight. Couldn't change into the lowest gears here, in particular the last three. I think it was something like 3, 2 and 1, or maybe it was even 4 as well. It's a 10-speed sprocket or cassette. So bought a new chain, that's this long guy here, and since then what other things have I done? I bought new tires. I've been riding the bike, it's great, it goes like crazy on this motor. Bought new tires that are sort of well, what would you describe those as? They're not really mountain tires and they're not road tires, they're somewhere in between both. So you can go off-road a little bit, but not much. And obviously they're not perfect for the road, but they're a lot better than their predecessors, those big chunky tractor tires. So most of my riding is around San Francisco, in Golden Gate Park, and out to the beach, up to Twin Peaks. So I'm not really going off-road that much, hardly at all, in fact. So what other things did I do? I bought this little carry bag that carries my puncture repair thing. This is called a Speedier lever, I think. It's absolutely wonderful. This is all you will ever need to change a tire, to take a tire off a rim and put a new tire on. It's amazing. Forget about those 2 or 3 levers that you buy. They're a waste of time. And what else is in here? So one spare tube, my keys. Why do I need keys? I have a lock. I got my lock exchanged. I had what's called a New York Evolution lock. In their exchange program, I got this as a replacement. This is called a Forget About It New York Kryptonite lock. It's 18 millimeters of hardened steel. So, see, if you're a grinder, you can get through it, and I have seen thieves with grinders, believe it or not, in this city. But that's pretty good. And then I'm also getting a light lock, so I'll have 2 locks for it if I ever lock it around town. But what else have I done? I bought this light for the rear, and has different modes on it, and pretty good light. And then I bought this light for the front, and it has different modes as well. It's very bright, so I'm going to turn it off. It has different modes though, I have to cycle through them. And it's getting brighter and brighter and doing little things. And good, it's off. And then I have this thing. I bought this from my trainer to put my cell phone on so I can monitor my performance statistics on the bike, heart rate and all that. Got one for this as well because I was so impressed with it. What else? Anyway, keys are in there. The other thing I have keys for is, as an added anti-theft deterrent, I replaced my quick release hub levers with these Hexlock spindles, and they have a little magnet in them. See if I can get closer to show you that little red thing in there. You have to take that out with a special magnet key, and then you can stick your Allen wrench in and undo the whatchamahoogie. Other things, what have I to show you? I think that's it. Bike is running really, really well. Amazingly, I did find I'm using these little mirrors quite helpful in changing lanes on busy streets. And the only thing that I mightn't have done if I had known more was get this saddle. Now, it's a very good saddle, but it's very, very thin, very, very small, and quite hard. And I'm not out of the saddle that much because I'm not doing mountain bike trails and really on the road a lot. So you feel this after a few miles, or I do, my bony ass. But with proper cycling shorts, obviously that helps, the chamois in them. And what other mistakes have I made that I wouldn't do again if I was to redo this. I've spoken about the battery. Initially I thought this is too much battery, but it's not really, not with the hills in this city. My knees are shot, I have no cartilage behind my kneecaps, so this thing really helps get up the steeper hills. And I get probably 2 charges out of it before it goes flat. And each one of those bike rides is probably 25 miles perhaps. So 50 miles in total, going up pretty damn steep hills, going up pretty fast with the help of this, and obviously pedaling. I'm always pedaling. I don't go into super lazy mode where it's just electric take over, letting the electric do everything. Oh, the other thing I bought was this. I haven't been out on the bike yet to try it. This is a handlebar extender. I felt going up hills there that the old one I had, which came to about here, meant that I was just a bit too cramped on the bike. So now I'm wondering, is this too long? Time will tell. I'll go out for a few rides, maybe up to Twin Peaks, and see how I feel about this. These cork grips, super comfortable. Mode and everything is great. What else? Getting this thing on, I used a rubber mallet to tap it on, and lo and behold, didn't one of these little guys pop off? One of these little sensors. It was this guy here, so I had to epoxy him back on. I thought I might be a bit buggered, but it all worked out well, or has so far, I think. So I think tomorrow it's going to be clear of rain. We've had a fair bit of rain here on and off. Not enough to help our water shortage, but enough to hinder your ambitions cycling wise. So be dry tomorrow. I think I might take it out. And yeah, so that's the update. So it's all good to go. It's got its new shoes, its new tires. And what else have I not pointed out? Well, I suppose I'll just go quickly over the things that I got for the bike that the mountain bike that it didn't come with. So irrespective of the electric motor and everything. So number one, these Bullhorn handlebar extenders. Obviously the mirrors, the cork handle grips. The front and back lights, the cell phone holder. This bar actually. This bar is an add-on, as you can see. It is attached here and here. It's just to hold all the crap, all the accoutrements that I have on the bike. Obviously this guy, the handlebar stem extender, is new. Mud guards of a sort, of a form. Socks of some kind. This little bag holding my gear. This seat post, can't remember what it's called, a thud buster or something, and it's got this little bit of polymer in here, so when you go over bumps it's because I don't have a rear shock, so some people get this instead. I got it. Doesn't make a whole world of difference to me because I'm mostly on road rather than trails. Obviously the seat that I've spoken to, but the seat's called an Ergon, or it's made by Ergon, I think it is. They have 2 types. If I was to do it again, I'd get the wider one maybe. This thing's a bit like we're sitting on a blade after a while. This is German. It is a very good saddle, but you know all about it after a few hours. Other things, what else? There's aftermarket. This is aftermarket, obviously. This replaced the 28 tooth chain ring. This is the Lecky chain ring. I think it's called a bling ring because you can get it in different colors. This is a Lecky crank, and same on the other side. These pedals are Shimano's. They replaced the OEM crap that Giant put on the bike. One side is for cleats. I have Shimano cleats on my recycling shoes for the trainer over there. Also have those are Shimano pedals as well. And then the other side is just for regular, shoes. That is the same derailleur. Oh, one thing I did have to do recently was, because I put a bit of work into this whole, conversion into an electric bike, I wanted to get the frame number of the bike so I could register it in case it gets swiped. I mean, there's little chance of getting it back if it's nicked, but you know, if you don't make any effort, you can't expect. Anyway, whatever. So, but I discovered that to get to the frame number on this bike, it's under here, underside of. Actually, it's the other side. It's this side, and it's in under there. So it's placed in the most inaccessible position once you've got this motor on. So I had to take everything off. And you can see my cable tying and everything isn't as tidy as it was because I had to remove all the cabling, take the motor off, take the chain set off, just to get a photo of the frame number so I could register it. Anyway, I'm glad I did it, but it was a lot of work, so it meant taking everything that I put together off. So, and then having tested it all again, make sure it works. So, you know, obviously your cadence sensor, your gears, your gear sensor, and after putting on the larger chain, I clipped this cable down a little bit. You can see it's a bit more tidy than it was. It was sticking out in a big loop here before. And I managed, on a few of my bike rides, I realized I still couldn't get into, well, I could get into these higher gears, these lower gears I should call them, you know, gears 1, 2, and 3. Not that I'm ever really up there on 1, but you know, these lower gears, what would happen is there was too much of an angle to the chain ring at the front, so it would just pop out of gear. So did a fair bit of work on adjusting the gears. I can now get into all of them, and obviously remains to be tested, but yeah, so that was the other day. I had to take everything apart, put it all back together again, but not too big of a deal. I now know how to do it, or as distinct from, you know, when you saw me unboxing things and wondering what's this for, where does this go, how do you do that. So yeah, all good. I am going to take this for a ride, as I say, I hope tomorrow or the next day in some sunny, dry weather. And I'll probably make another video of something worthy of reporting on, but I think that's it for now, and looking forward to the ride. Okay, see you.